Welcome to Choir Talks. My name is Greg O'Neill. I'm the worship pastor at Ridgecrest Baptist Church in Madison, Mississippi, and I'm glad that you're joining me today for our Choir Talks podcast. Well, it's the start of a new year, 2023, the first week of that year, and I don't know about you, but I'm kind of glad 2022 is in the rearview mirror. There were good things that happened in my life, and there were difficult, challenging things. There were many things that I wish I could do over, frankly, things that I should have or could have done better. But it is a new year now and a new beginning. If you listened to this podcast at all last year, you probably heard me reference the fact that I was reading through the Bible. That was one of the good things of last year. I enjoyed so much reading through the Bible in chronological order this time, as opposed to just reading from page 1 to the last page. I read it in the order that it would have happened in history. And so reading that way gave me a good perspective on how things unfolded. So last week, I got to the end of the Bible. And at the end of Revelation, there was a phrase that just really stuck out to me. It came in Revelation chapter 21, and Jesus is speaking as he's giving this vision of the future to John. And there in chapter 21, he says, "I am making all things new." Now that may not seem significant to you, but for me, after reading through the entire story of the Bible, that was so refreshing. Reading through the Bible, starting in Genesis 3 with the fall of man and then the failure of all of the various people in Abraham's family, the failure of the ancient Israelites as they were wandering through the desert, their rebellion, all of the judges who fell short, the kings who fell or failed their country, and the Israelites who didn't listen to the prophets and kept rebelling against the word from God that came to them. Then even into the New Testament, all the people who missed Jesus or misunderstood his message or his mission there on earth, through the early church and the struggles that they had as they processed all of what was happening and dealing with culture and sharing the word. And there's just an awful lot of failure on the part of men. But I so much enjoyed seeing a faithful God, a loving God, a God full of grace. And as all the stories of the failures of the people that I read through, they resonated with me, because that's us, right? We fail, we struggle, we fall short of who we are supposed to be, and yet there's this faithful God, this God of grace that is there all along. One of the stories that this makes me think about is in Jeremiah 18, God says to Jeremiah, "Go down to the potter's house, and there I will give you my message." So I went down to the potter's house, and I saw him working at the potter's wheel. But the pot he was shaping from the clay was marred in his hands. So the potter formed it into another pot and shaped it as best seemed to him. Then the word of the Lord came to me. He said, "Can I not do with you, Israel, as this potter does?" Into our mess, into our failure, our flaws, he sends a message, and it's a message of hope. Can I not make you new? That message reshapes us. He makes us new. Back to Revelation 21 in John's vision, he sees this picture of a beautiful bride that is made ready for Christ, the Lamb on the throne. You know who that beautiful bride is? It is the church, those who struggled, who fell short, who failed so many times over and over. Now here at the end, they are completely made new into this beautiful bride, this image of one that carries the holiness of God and comes to be joined together with the perfect Lamb. We're starting a new year this week. And a new year is a good time to know that God makes all things new. No matter what happened in your life or with you in 2022, 2023 can be a year of grace, a year of God changing you, who you are, into the image of Christ, and it can be a year of Him making all things new in your life. We have a Savior who makes all things new. So use this week at the beginning of this year to call on Him. Have a great week and have a great year.